Live.
It's Saturday, January 7th, 2017, as we honor the heritage of the Bay Area's NHL history. They give a good old fashioned butt whooping to the Detroit Red Wings. Oh, we miss you guys in the Western Conference. It is Pucknology After Dark. I am joined by Ian Reed and the Notch Gentry Alexander. We'll get to them in just a jiffy, but of course, if you want to be a part of the show, just join the conversation. Use the hashtag PucknologyAD. You can also chat with us in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. I notice a lot of people already talking about how Bodker is off the schneid. We'll definitely get into that. Tonight you have at iReadPucknology, at PuckGuy14, at JAlexander46. Oh, and don't forget, folks, we're also sponsored by, as you see on my files, Audible. That's right. We've partnered with them for a free 30-day trial where you can search up to 180,000 audiobooks, and you can keep one for yourself, even if you stop continuing to use the service or not. Log on to audibletrial.com/PAD to sign up. You get a free book, you help support the show, everybody wins. That's audibletrial.com/PAD. Now, if you're wondering why I sound a little nasally and stuff, hi, I have a fever, and unfortunately, the only prescription is not more cowbell. But we are persistent, and we're getting the job done, and we're going to make this show work. So I'll say hello to my fellow Notch Bro, Gentry Alexander.
Hey guys, glad to see that the Sharks responded after an abysmal game the other night. So, yeah, hi.
Hi.
And am I the only one who thinks that Eric right now looks a little bit like Michael Jackson?
Ow! And joining us from beautiful Ontario, Canada, which is probably has nicer weather than the Bay Area is about to have, it's Ian Reed.
It's snowing. I'd take the rain any day.
But how badly is it snowing, though?
We kind of had our storm go past, so it's fine.
Okay. All right. As always, we want to make sure you know how to subscribe down below or to the side. Also, hit up on our Google chat or on our SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, all that stuff. We want your subscriptions. We appreciate it immensely. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't think I can give you contagiousness over the internet, so I'm just going to go do this. Oh, God, that's so much better. All right, so pardon my voice, nonetheless. Let's carry on. Word. Your initial intake, Mr. Reed.
It was a fun game. Something that obviously after the last few games, something I think Sharks fans probably needed at this point. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun game. I thought that despite the injuries that the Sharks have incurred, they looked pretty good.
Alrighty. And Mr. Gentry, I heard an echo. That's why I was like, wait, is he still going? My bad. Gentry, your initial take from tonight.
You know what? I mean, it's funny how we honor 50 years of Bay Area hockey, and we play an old style game in which it's a high scoring one, and it's never. I don't care if I'm going to be 80 years old and still watching this team. I will always get a thrill out of seeing the Sharks beat the crap out of the Red Wings. God, I wish they were back in the Western Conference because, I mean, those games were always like so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was definitely a classic rivalry, and they always bring the best out of the Sharks, even with them in the East. I remember that game a couple years ago with Couture in the shootout, and then Nemo had that ridiculous save to win the game. But
wait, whoa! Nemo made a save.
I know, in the shootout, and it was unreal. I know. All right, let's talk about this one. multiple players with multiple points tonight, Gentry. You kind of brought this up before we went on the air. A lot of people with 2-point nights.
Yeah, Mirko Mueller with a 2-point night. DeMello with a 2-point night. Paul Martin with a 2-point night. Joe Pavelski with the 2-point night. Of course, the Wookiee himself, Brent Burns with the 2-point night. And what was nice to see is that you're starting to see defensemen that are not Brent Burns contributing points from the back end, as well as and then you're starting to see the key guys come in. Wingles was on the score sheet tonight. He had an assist on Donskoy's on the first goal of the game.
Mm-hmm.
After I thought that was going to get waved off for goaltender interference because
well,
we all know it's because here's the thing. It was against the Detroit Red Wings. A Shark scored it, and Wingles was somehow involved. I thought it was going to get waved off.
Yes, that is so true. And if I recall correctly, I think Detroit challenged a goal in Florida where the goaltender wasn't touched, and yet they disallowed it. So yeah, anything is possible. Ian, what did you take from tonight?
I thought, another person that I believe got multiple points tonight was Timo Meier, who I think played tonight maybe his best game in Sharks teal and obviously not Barracuda teal. I think that hopefully this is just a sign of things to come, and hopefully he's starting to get acclimated to the NHL game a little bit more. It's not only been said by me, but it's been said, by a few people. Yeah, Timo gets a lot of shots on goal, but a lot of the shot qualities that he's taking aren't very good. And you look at his shooting percentage being 4-ish%. It's not because he's unlucky. It's because some of the shots he's taking that he might have scored in the queue just won't go in at the NHL level.
In let me ask: is the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, or the Q, is it more of a goal scoring league of the three junior leagues in Canada?
Yeah, I think if you're going to go to the Q, the game's a lot more wide open in the Q. I don't feel like you see a lot of offensive defensemen come out of the Q, but not a whole lot for defensive defensemen in comparison to the other leagues. I think the Q is just a much more wide open league, and I think it's the weakest of the three Canadian Hockey League sections, to be honest.
Got it. Because I've heard that before, but I wasn't sure if that's kind of what the mood is for it among the three of them. Anyways, let's see what we're seeing in the chat so far.
Yeah, there was a correction on that. Was Timo Meier only had 1 point tonight? He had an assist on one of Pavelski's goals.
Gotcha.
But I think that was honestly his best game in teal. You're starting to see the I know you're facing a depleted Detroit Red Wings squad who have been just inundated with so many injuries to their lineup. They have their goalie, clearly I think their number one goalie out, and Jimmy Howard, who's just been plagued with injury. Their lineup is just gone. But it was nice to see the Sharks kind of jump on and capitalize, beat them while they're down. And also, I think this could be a huge confidence boost for the young guys, especially Mirko and DeMello, who had a really tough time in the past couple of games. They were getting burned on their defensive assignments, especially in the Minnesota and the Kings games. They were just a tire fire. So it was nice to see them have a multiple point game, and hopefully that kind of gives them some hope, and hopefully that means that Mirko can kind of take this as a positive sign. So when eventually he goes back to the Barracuda, there's a roster spot maybe available for him, in the future.
Yeah. No, I mean, and let's talk about the defense coming to play. I mean, yeah, Vanek scores a lucky goal to make it 1-0. Donskoy, gets his sixth. He's starting to get revved up. Assists with Wingles and Mueller, and then Mirko Mueller with a bomb from the point.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, that was ridiculous. I was like, holy
But
crap.
there was one thing that I noticed about that goal that I have been preaching for so long: traffic in
Which
front
is,
of the net. They were the goal, like, that was in the first period, so it was I can't pronounce that goalie's name for the life of me, the starter who started in the first period, but he could not see that shot coming. But it was also, you got to give Mueller a lot of credit that it was a bomb and it was accurate.
yeah, Toro is
Cool.
the goalie who started tonight and got pulled after the first period after giving up 3 goals on 11 shots. Peter Mrazek took over and did a decent job, but he gave up 3 himself in the third period. Patrick Marleau slowly moving along here and we're starting to finally get some pub about him getting closer and closer to 500 here, guys. He gets 493 tonight. And Gentry,
Yes.
where is he ranked now?
He ranks 46.
An all-time in the NHL among goal scorers.
Yeah.
That wasn't set up at all. That was totally random, right?
No, I always have a 46 jersey readily available for such an occasion. But let's also talk about another milestone that was hit on tonight, or shall we save this for a little bit later? With Mr. Captain America achieving a milestone tonight.
Well, Ian, he had
go
2
with it.
goals tonight. Yeah, he had 2 goals tonight. Go for it, Gent. You're on a roll. Keep going, dude.
Yeah, another milestone that was reached tonight was that Joe Pavelski, Captain America, is hits points number 600 in his career, putting him third place in Sharks scoring in franchise history. And honestly, it's well deserved. The guy has just been, a steady workhorse, and he's finally getting the recognition in, the superstar status that he has proven that he has been. He's been, like, quietly, he was known as, Little Joe, and then he had that huge playoff run in 2010, and he's been clutch scoring ever since.
Yeah.
Ian?
No, I completely agree. I mean, Joe Pavelski, obviously, it doesn't surprise me that he's got 600 points at all. He's always been productive guy. I think that I mean, he's always been productive. I mean, obviously, I think being on a line with Joe Thornton has obviously made him more productive than he would be without Joe Thornton. But he's still, I mean, he's always been a productive guy, a guy that you can count on for points. So the fact that he's hit 600 by this point doesn't surprise me at all.
Right. And he's young enough that he could possibly get to 1,000. And yeah, he's what, 31? I mean, if he could stay in shape like Joe and Patty have, I think he'll be in good shape.
Well, I think how he plays the game is that he could stay in shape and play well into his 40s. My favorite thing was that I still remember him on that second line in 2010 when it was, God, still one of my favorite lines in for the Sharks was him, Ryan Clough, and Devin Setaguchi. That was the clutch line that they were called because it was Joe Pavelski leading the way on all of those.
Right.
So
yeah, Zach Devine in the chat, Donskoy and Meyer had very solid games. Totally agree.
Yep.
Gen X, another milestone was with Thornton taking a shot on a 2-on-1. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
he's just the biggest troll right now. He's like, oh, everyone thinks I'm gonna pass it to Pavs for the hat trick. No, I'm gonna actually shoot it on net.
Zach again. Joe Thornton hands out assists and contracts for his right wingers. Am I right? That's very true. That's very true. Another thing tonight in stunning news. First off, Brody can relax. We got 5 on it. Yes, the Sharks are the final team to score 5 goals in a game this season, and of course, who else but Mikhail Bodker scores it. It actually was a Brent Burns shot that was essentially tipped by his elbow in his jersey, and he gets the 5th goal, guys. Ian, I mean, what was it? 28 games he hadn't scored since November 1st, right?
And did he really score this game? I mean, it went off his elbow. He was there by proximity. I don't think that everyone should be, gushing over 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 him at this point. Like I don't know. This whole topic just kind of annoys me because yeah, I mean he was in the right position, but it wasn't like his play otherwise was totally sharp tonight. I don't think Vodker had an overly great game, to be completely honest. So yeah, he got lucky and a puck went off his elbow. And this 5 goals thing is just so fucking stupid. Like I know I know Chris has said this a million times too, and the sentiment on Twitter, and it's like if you need 5 goals to win a hockey game, then you're doing it wrong because you shouldn't need to score 5 goals in order to win a hockey game. Yeah, it's nice, but this is the stupidest talking point that we've had on this show, that we've had on the internet, and we've had some really stupid talking points on this show, but this is by far one of the worst. Period.
Sure, but here's the thing. I mean, with all the offensive ability that this team has, it was just a matter of time before that they would do something with it, that they would get this 5+ goal output. I mean, they were due to get this input of offensive ability.
Yes, but it shouldn't have been a talking point. Like after the Wild game, it should have been, well, the Sharks can't score 5 goals, so of course we lost. Like the fact that it became like this legit talking point was ridiculous. And I'm not angry the Sharks won. I'm not angry the Sharks won and then they scored 6 goals. I'm happy. I'm annoyed that this was a talking point for so long because I think it was a real red herring when there's a lot of other more important factors.
No, I think the biggest talking point of that Minnesota game was the fact they couldn't hold a 2-goal lead, not once but twice.
Right. That's a problem, and that goes back to the whole thing. Whereas if you need to score 5 goals to win a hockey game, then you're probably got bigger issues.
No, the only time we ever need to score 5 goals and maybe 6 goals to win a game is, against the Kings in the playoffs, 2011.
Yeah, no, that game was classic.
Mike Neves, January 14th versus St. Louis, be at SAP for the 5-goal banner.
All right, where's Gen X or frickin' Chester Tivo to Photoshop that bad boy? Come on now.
Come on, guys. Where's that banner? We need that banner.
Photoshops for sure.
Come on. We've had more useless banners up at SAP Center. We need this one ready to go.
The list of things that annoy me is incredibly long. I acknowledge this completely. I have an incredibly long list of things that annoy me.
Not the least of which is yours truly, but that's for a whole other show. That's probably going to be covered tomorrow in the writer's room.
That's right.
Anyways, the two things that we usually tend to gripe on are special teams and face-offs. Again, the Sharks didn't do too well tonight in the face-off circle. They had 42%. Logan Couture 22. Wingles at 27. Tierney was at 55. Ward at 56. Jumbo at 71, Pavelski at 40. So Jumbo really was the one that really stood out tonight. But Couture had a couple of key draw wins in this game, so that was helpful. Special teams, you only gave up 1 penalty to Detroit's putrid power play on the road. I think they're like 0 for forever.
Well, you know what? If there was going to be any team that was going to give the Red Wings their first power play goal in 0-4 or whatever, it would have been the damn Sharks.
Right. Because they've failed in the last 51 attempts.
I know, but seriously, I mean,
jeez.
This was a game that if we didn't win, this would have been more aggravating than the Minnesota game. This would have been way more aggravating than the Kings games combined, because this is, like I said, an injury-plagued team that is mostly going with a bunch of rookies and like a relatively new-ish goaltender. But also in Sharks faction, I'm surprised it wasn't like a 52 save shutout performance from the goalie. But no, I think this was a game that they needed to win. It's nice to get 6. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the 3 goals from Detroit not happen, but there was nothing Jones could have really done on any of them. The first goal from, I think it was what oh my
Donskoy.
god, no, the first goal for the Detroit.
Oh, Vanek.
Vanek.
Sorry.
No, like it was a fortuitous, deflection off a bronze skate, and it goes past Jones, and then obviously, Anthony Mantha's goal. I mean, the guy is on a tear right now.
I didn't like the rebound though. I thought it was very Nemo-esque.
Well, I mean, when you're playing as many games as Jones is, you're going to have some lapse in judgment. But so all I'm going to say is that during at some point in this game, or like on our little road trip thing, are we going to start to see Dell start a little bit more? Dave?
I would think that he would get into one of these games coming up. Although, I will say this: they have 2 days off now. They have the back-to-backs in Alberta, and then 2 more days off, and then they
Right.
come home. So I could possibly see them not doing anything.
I don't think, if I had to guess, I don't think Dell gets a start until the Colorado Winnipeg back-to-back. I could see him
on the
not getting a
road,
start until then.
right before the All-Star
Because I
break.
don't think you're going to start Dell against LA or Tampa.
No, you're definitely not going to have him in LA. Maybe for Tampa.
Unless
But-
you give him that lone Winnipeg game at home on the 16th, but I think you're probably not seeing Dell start again until the 23rd, 24th. If I had to guess.
And I think, go ahead, Gentry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and I think that's fair, because I think you're just going to keep riding Jones until he looks broken, and and then he's starting to look like Niemi and Nabokov with his workload. At this point, I'm just surprised they don't start goalies 82 games a year, but that's impossible nowadays. But I mean, going back to the game, there's a couple of those goals. There was really nothing Jones could have done. I mean, the last one that made it, that was the third goal. I mean, that was just a nice, sweet driving to the net setup from Franz Nielsen, but for some reason, he did not get a credit on that or an assist on that. So I think that's a glitch from the NHL that should be fixed, hopefully fairly soon. But but it was nice to see. But like, this game was just a nice all around collection of things that I wanted to see. I wanted to see key guys step up. I wanted to see an overall a nice 60-minute game, and we saw that. We saw a nice 60-minute effort from this team. Was it a defensive game? No, but it was nice to see that there was efforts being made.
Yeah, no, I think they kind of learned tonight, I think, as well, guys, that you can have the offensive ability and still keep the opponent in check. Yeah, you don't want the 3 goals, but you put up 6. So as long as it's, I know this is so hot take, but as long as you put more goals past their goalie, we do this live, folks, but I think you get the drift. We put more past their goalie than they put past ours, and we win.
When the Sharks do good, it's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Blah blah blah. Thank you very much.
And it's also
I'm
funny to
looking.
So I'm looking at the stats right now, and that we only had, I believe, 2 players that had a minus in this game, and that was Justin Braun with a -1, and Melker Karlsson, that was also a -1 tonight.
Trade him. Put him. Expose him in the draft.
Eric, where's the T-shirt link? People are demanding.
Oh, they want the T-shirt link.
We're putting. They're like they're.
I
taking
thought they
their
were
money
talking about the Seal shirts. My
and putting
bad.
it back in their pocket.
Yeah, and by the way, if anybody was at the game tonight and happened to just score an extra one of those Seals shirts, please, I will be your best friend if you happen to give me one. I can trade you something. I have some rally towels from the playoffs I have extra ones of. And I also might be willing to send some sexy photos of myself if you give me one of those shirts.
Whoa. Whoa. So just slide into the DMs atjalexander46. So many of you have been talking about AJ's shirt that he ordered. It's from here. It's shop.spreadshirt.com/puckguy. I had this little shop going for a while, and it was prior to Pucknology being in existence, so hence why it's shop.spreadshirt.com/puckguy. And there's a regular sweatshirt, there's the hoodie. We got a lot of options for for the ladies, including the teal one specifically. I did that for Rocket. So Rocket, you can add to your teal collection. You have your t-shirts here, a little form-fitting, long sleeve shirt, which was modeled by AJ Strong himself. So by all means, check it out. Again, it's shop.spreadshirt.com/puckguy.
I'm sure we'll have a link. I'm sure we'll have a link in the description in this episode, or we'll have it on pucknology.net, which you can go to get all your Sharks insider news.
Somebody is on their game tonight.
Well, everybody was questioning me to be traded, so I felt like I had to be like Mikhail Boddicker and step up.
Step up
and get a goal off of my elbow.
Hey, it doesn't matter how it goes in, it went in.
That's what he said?
Oh, God. All right. Before we so before we move on, Ian, you're rocking the Barracuda shirt tonight. Well, wait, before you rock the Barracuda shirt tonight, let's talk about what me and Gentry are wearing, because it was Seals night at the tank. They celebrated 50 years of hockey with a number of guys coming in to drop the puck, and a lot of memorabilia at the tank tonight. And for me, you're finally recognizing the Oakland/California Golden Seals. I mean, in a roundabout way, this is full circle of sorts, right, guys?
No, yeah, I think that the history. I think it's not really well known history that the Sharks were not the first Bay Area hockey team in the NHL to premiere here. We were a part of that 67 expansion, and it was nice to kind of see them kind of honor that, even though we can't really do anything because the Dallas Stars own all the copyrights to the logos and stuff like that. But it was nice. And also it was fitting that my current fantasy hockey team is called the Oakland Seals. And all my guys got points tonight, so good for me.
Ian, you weren't born when the Seals played, but again, I would think it makes sense for the Sharks to recognize part of Bay Area hockey history, especially with 100th anniversary. I think Chester Chiva was one of the ones who said tonight that the Sharks should have just rocked throwback Seals jerseys tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really resonate. Obviously, I'm not a local guy. I'm not a local guy. I've never been a local guy, so it doesn't really resonate with me at all. But I'm sure it's fantastic for the people there.
Yeah, and it's not to the past. I mean, I know not a whole lot of people know too much about the Seals, that they're only around for a little bit. Like M. Hackle said, they should have worn the white skates tonight. Those are putrid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When I saw the picture of them wearing white skates, I'm like, no, are you serious? Laurel has put the link in for the t-shirt shop. Sorry, Mike Nevis. Yes, it's only shirts at the moment. We'll see. Yeah, it was nice to look. It was nice getting a look at the Seals. I was kind of hoping Joe Starkey would get on the game action with Randy Hahn, because Joe Starkey was the original TV voice for the Sharks the first couple of seasons in the league. But nonetheless, let's move on to action that happened earlier today at SAP Center. Mr. Reed, I'll let you have this moment. The Barracuda.
Yeah, the Barracuda won. Yay, Barracuda! It was a good game today with the Barracuda. The Barracuda came into the game missing basically 3 of their 6 defensemen because obviously Mirko Mueller and Tim Heed were up with the big club, and Julius Bergman is missing. I believe he's concussed right now. I could be wrong on that. I feel like he's concussed though. So that's, Mueller and Bergman are their middle pair. So you're missing your entire middle pair, and then one of your top 2 defensemen, and you had to call up a guy from the ECHL, who I failed to remember his name right now off the top of my head. And you know what though? But they put on a good performance. I didn't really have a whole lot of excitement going into this game just because of the Barracuda injuries. And I thought they played a solid game, and they came out with the victory, and that's all you can ask for, really.
Now, I mean, obviously, I don't follow the Barracuda as much as Ian and some of the other guys on Pucknology do, especially Kevin Lacey. But I mean, I've been like kind of keeping tabs on it here and there, but it's like it just seems like that this Barracuda squad has been some of the best prospect pool that the Sharks have had in years.
Ever. This is the best AHL team they've ever iced in their entire history, as far as that. And just in the chat quick, because I know Zach's got my back. Travis Brown was the call-up, and Bergman is out with a concussion. This is the best. This is the best prospect pool the Sharks have probably ever had in the AHL. They've drafted a lot of Europeans, so obviously they've had guys that have stayed in Europe, and they've had guys that went to junior or the UCHL that just never panned out. So, but this 2014 draft class especially has just been really great for them in the later rounds.
Absolutely. And you've been raving about that 2014
since the dawn of time, since like 2012.
Exactly. In other AHL action, and I'm sure if you're on Twitter or Facebook, you saw some of it. The Bakersfield Condors, who are the AHL affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers, had an outdoor game today with the Ontario Reign. When we say pond hockey is great, yes, of course, it's great. However, when they said that they were going to play pond hockey today, not quite what they had in mind. It was a deluge down in Bakersfield.
That didn't look like so much as a hockey game as it was like, people in the backyard on a slip and slide.
Yeah, I mean, I've played plenty of pond hockey in my day, but never legitimately in a pond. On the pond, maybe. Never legitimately in the pond.
I think instead of, referees, we should have had, lifeguards out there, patrol, watching the game. And I feel like, you could have had the Baywatch theme playing in the background.
That would have been epic. I don't even know, like, do the AHL have a players union? Because, like, that just doesn't seem safe. Like, the conditions that they were playing in just didn't seem all that safe to me.
No, and last year they had a rain delay for, what was it, Stockton and, was it Bakersfield last year? Stockton, Bakersfield up in Sacramento?
Uh-huh.
I think it was. And so
it was Stockton. I want to say it was up in Sacramento or something like that.
Yeah, it was at Rayleigh Field. I remember it was Rayleigh Field, and it was Stockton. I believe it was Bakersfield. Yes, like Matthew York was saying, hydroplaning.
Yeah,
Rocket with I feel safer already. Yes, Stockton, Bakersfield. Thank you, Kevin Lacey. By the way, Kevin Lacey, anticipating turtlenecks that say on the neck, we're all Kevin Lacey. We'll try to. That's true. We'll work on that as time goes on. Ian, if you can focus the camera on me, let's be clear now. How we usually present stuff to you guys, and I'm sure you've seen it in the chat right now. Things are a little different. And for some reason, the way we've presented graphics, as usual, is no longer available to us. So we're trying to, work on this as quickly as we can. But yeah, if you can, this is the video. This was taken off of Twitter tonight, and in the pouring rain, and kudos to the teams for putting it to staying in it and playing in this game. But holy wow, that's I mean, there was that one time when you were trying to take a pass tonight. They were freaking unreeling, like crazy, crazy bad. Let me see if I can get to go again. Hang on. But you would have a spritz of water go farther than the puck, and yeah, it's I mean literal pond hockey, guys. Your thoughts?
Dangerous. I mean, it's just that's the only thing I can think of. Like, that just seems dangerous to me. It just doesn't seem like. I mean, I understand it's an outdoor game and you're the AHL, so you can't exactly just like, you can't just postpone it or whatever. But man, I don't know. I mean, just what crappy luck. I mean, what can you really do about it? You can't foresee that you're going to have like the biggest rainstorm in the history of California. What do you do?
Yeah, yeah, and you know how jam packed is this show? We will have a weather update for you from Roberta Gonzalez in a little bit.
Oh,
She won't be on, but I've gotten personal information from that. But speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, as you saw Bakersfield, and I believe Bakersfield lost that game tonight. But speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, Chris GWS, see how I did that nice segue? Has set up an interview with a member of an Edmonton Oilers podcast. I don't recall
the
the
Oilers
name
rig.
of that. I'm sorry.
The Oilers rig is the name of the podcast.
Okay. We're going to have an interview with them on Monday prior to the game on Tuesday night. So if you follow Chris at Chris JWS and give him some questions, it'll be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions regarding the Oilers or such, if you want to know anything, how Drew Raminda's doing, probably not going to ask what shirt size Connor McDavid is, although I'm sure that's probably good in Edmonton right now. But you know what? It's you just go follow at Chris JWS on the Twitter machine and give him questions prior to probably tomorrow night. That'd be great. All right.
And also, I'm working on a story for Pucknology. I'm in the process of trying to get Dan Boyle to do a sit-down interview with me. Unfortunately, he has not responded to any of my emails or my calls or me, beating at his door at night and singing careless whispers, on his front lawn. Many times the cops have been called, but I'm still holding out hope that he will come for an interview. I like keep your fingers together, hashtag, Gentry and Dan. Just let's get it going. Let's go, guys.
Yeah. Apparently Nick Neftepitz needs to leave for 10 minutes. I'm not sure why, but can everyone do the same? To which AJ says, mannequin challenge for 10 minutes, boys.
No.
No, that's not going to happen. Sorry,
It's not
Nick.
going to happen.
No, but what will happen is we'll go around the league, and it's a busy schedule as usual on a Saturday. We had Philly beat Tampa Bay 4-2. It was Buffalo 4, Winnipeg 3, as I saw my fantasy hockey season die a quick death as Patrick Laine was just lambasted by McCade of Buffalo.
Oh no, it's not like you don't have Austin Matthews to carry the workload now.
Well, let's see. I have PK that's out. Laine is out. My dark horse, Mark-Edouard Vlasic, is apparently has facial fractures. We found this out.
Classic to forward.
Vlasic to forward. That's right. So we don't know how long Liney's out, but that's going to be interesting to see how long he is out and how much that'll affect Winnipeg, because Winnipeg is still in the playoff race. Speaking of being in the playoff race, the Los Angeles Kings, despite giving up the late tying goal in the third period to Zach Parise, come out on top 4-3 in overtime. Once again, Tanner Pearson with the overtime winner. Hold the phone, guys. The end is coming. We're on the verge of a Tortorella rant. The Rangers win 5-4 over the Columbus Blue Jackets, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have a 4-1 lead on the Rangers?
Oh yeah,
No,
they choked on that.
That's their second loss in a row, man. The
Yep.
end. That's
Yep.
it. So,
The end is
sorry,
coming.
you had your
It
run.
is nigh. Yep, they had
Yes.
their run, and you're starting to see the real Tortorella teams, showing up. They're that style of his system of defense of just blocking all the shots in any way you can. It starts to wear at you. We saw him, and we saw it happen to the Rangers so many times, and we saw it happen when he was the coach of the Vancouver Canucks. Yes.
Did somebody say Vancouver?
No one said Vancouver.
He just did.
I did.
You're right. You did.
So yeah, it's kind of fun that now the bandwagon for Columbus has died down. I'm happy to hear that.
Boston 4, Florida nothing. Boston's clinging on to that playoff spot, mainly because Montreal beat Toronto in a nice little great rivalry game 5-3. And Ian, you retweeted something earlier and
a real rivalry night.
Yes,
like an actual
not
rivalry.
Not Philadelphia versus St. Louis,
right?
Or whatever we can shoehorn Sidney Crosby into having a rivalry with, because
that's right. Sidney Crosby versus the NHL. Chicago Blackhawks are rivals with everyone.
Right, Chicago versus Washington.
Right, yes, the epic rivalry.
It should just be the teams Comcast wants you to watch. That's all it is. So it's going to be a lot of Philly. It's going to be a lot of
Pittsburgh.
Boston. It's going to be Boston and Washington, because they're part of that whole little Comcast network. But no, I like that. To me, I was watching some of that game and I was like, man, just Montreal and Toronto, that was just a fun game. And I'm sitting there going, like, just imagine how dangerous Montreal is going to be when Galchenyuk comes back, and you'll start to see all their guys get healthy and forward, because I think that this team is going to make a deep run into the playoffs as long as they can, keep Carey Price healthy. I think this team will make a good deep run into the playoffs, because as it's looking right now, Tampa is not going to be there to thwart their Stanley Cup dreams.
Tampa's so banged up too, though. I mean, that team is.
Yeah, and you talk about fantasy problems. I have Ben Bishop, who I'm just sitting there going, when are you going to come back now? And I have Steven Stamkos.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any crap about Patrick Laine.
At least my guy's actually like in the top 10.
I have Matt Murray, Ben Bishop, and Steven Stamkos out, and James Neal just went on the IR. So don't give me your crap about Patrick Laine. I guess I'll just have to go roll over on my Austin Matthews, bandwagon.
Yes,
I guess Vancouver lost tonight, right? So is our hopes of a Vancouver-Toronto Stanley Cup final been dashed?
Yes, they've been dashed. Calgary won tonight 3-1 over the Vancouver Canucks. Lucas Spiza, by the way, had to pick out pieces of his helmet out of his head on a interesting hit tonight.
How old was his helmet? Like, did he pull it out of a museum or something? Like, what's going on?
I don't know, but I saw the clip. He took a hard hit into the corner. He was really pissed off about it, and the equipment guy was like looking at his helmet and noticed he was picking out pieces of his helmet from the back of his head. It was crazy.
When I rolled my car on the highway a long time ago, actually I was going to meet Jen's parents, and so she was with me for the first time, and I rolled my car on the highway, and I was picking glass out of my hair for weeks. It's terrible. Totally unrelated.
Was there like a fat dent on his helmet, like in like the same way that they're in like Mighty Ducks? Or it's just like there's just a fat dent after it's a hard slap shot. But we'll see. I mean, it was so far a lot of things. I mean, I think with this win tonight, the Sharks are back atop the Pacific because of our Rose.
Yes, we'll get to that in just a second when we finish off the scores. Thank you, though. Shut up, Ian. Washington won, Ottawa nothing. Edmonton has an overtime winner over New Jersey in the battle of
Hull
who won the
versus
trade.
Larson.
Hull versus Larson, yes. 2-1, the Edmonton Oilers beat the New Jersey Devils.
Edmonton clearly won that trade.
And hold the phone, folks. In the battle of bottom feeders, the Desert Dogs have beaten the Fish Sticks 2-1. Yes, the Coyotes beat the Islanders 2-1 in a shootout. Check out Duclair's sweet move in the shootout. That was unreal.
Yes.
And then finally, it was St. Louis 4, Dallas 3. That was Lettinen, not Nemo, so we can't make fun of that. Nonetheless,
we can always make fun of Dallas. We can. There's always a good excuse to make fun of Dallas and their goaltending. Their overpriced goaltending, I should say.
That's true. Alrighty, let me get this focused on me here. There we go. So, as Gentry had promised, here are the Pacific Division standings as of this moment. The Sharks have 50 points. They are in the lead because they have 3 more.
Rose.
They also have a game in hand.
We also have a game in hand on Quackenheim. Edmonton's right there at 49. Calgary leapfrogs back and gets to 46 points. LA's win, along with Vancouver's loss, leapfrogs them back into the second wild card spot at 44 points. Vancouver at 43, and the Desert Dogs are at 30. Nonetheless, you have a 7-point difference between first and sixth, so there's no letting up, guys.
Sure, there is.
No.
But can we? I mean, there is, but can we not?
Yeah, we cannot.
No, and honestly, it's like if those standing, if the playoffs started today, I wouldn't mind. I would love that first round matchup
between the Sharks and the and the Calgary Flames. That would be the first round matchup if the season were to end today. And we're at
with that.
I have no problem with that.
We're at 40 games. All right. Apparently, Chester Chivo has some beautiful photoshops for us, and per your request, Ian, here you go.
Yes,
5 goals in a game.
On you.
January 7th, 2017, and another banner to go with it. Vodka shoulder scores a goal. Yes.
Can we have another one that says Vodka actually shoots the puck and scores? Like when that eventually happens.
No, but I'm sure this is the one that everybody wants to laugh at. Yes, that look when your McAfee antivirus subscription ends.
That is
Chester, you are awesome.
That was a good one.
That's a very good one. All right. There we go. Oh, so that's around the league, along with everybody making fun of me. Well, gee, what a shock. So moving on, can you see me side by side for YouTube? I have it downloaded, Chris, so I can upload it a little bit later. All right, so moving on to the upcoming road trip on this week. It's a mini 2-game road trip that's sandwiched between 2 days off. You go to Edmonton to check out the new place, the new arena in Edmonton, and then you go to Calgary the next night. What are you looking forward to? Edmonton and Calgary, Mr. Reed.
I'm looking for 2 wins. I think the Sharks match up well against the Oilers. I think they should be able to take another win there. And Calgary, they should beat Calgary. I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't. I kind of hope that that's an Arundel start, but I don't see it just because of the 2 day gaps between the back to backs. The Calgary game makes me a little bit nervous. A little bit of a trap game there, I think.
Definitely. Gentry?
I'm looking forward to 2 wins, very decisive, and I really hope Brian Elliott's in net for that Calgary game because I just want him to have non-flashbacks of the Western Conference Final.
Elliot.
I
Yeah,
just
no,
Edmonton
if you
doesn't
would-
have a backup goalie.
yeah. Yes, here's a question. Who's their backup goalie in Calgary?
Elliott.
Is it Elliot or is it Johnson?
I feel like from what I've seen, Chad Johnson looks like he's taken over the net. Sorry for the clicking noise. It's my insulin.
Gotcha.
That's going to make it a very interesting offseason for Elliott because he's on the last contract of his last year of his contract. Sorry, for some reason couldn't spit that out. So you wonder where he's going to end up this next season. Potentially going to, I'd say Winnipeg because they've had issues with goaltending.
I think Winnipeg just needs to wait out their issues with goaltending, though. Hellebuck's playing his first pro year. It would be really foolish of them after how long they stuck with Pavelec for them to turn around now and just shit on Hellebuck so quickly. Like Pavelec, we knew Pavelec was bad before he got to Winnipeg. Hellebuck's young, but I think that there's games where he's shown a lot of promise, and I think they just need to stick with him and hope that he can develop into the NHL goalie that everyone thinks he could be.
But with how that team's stacked, I mean, they've got a pretty solid defensive core. They have a pretty, I mean, and obviously they've got Patrick Laine, they've got Scheifele, they've got Wheeler. They have all the weapons that could be dangerous in the playoffs. It's just they just haven't had the goaltending. And I've been saying from the beginning of the season that I could see Ben Bishop getting traded there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they have decent. I think what they need is something. I can't remember the left or right side, but one of the sides of their defense is pretty atrocious.
Well, they were looking for I remember because Trouba was on the trading block because he was holding out or something like that.
Yep.
So they're looking for a left-handed defenseman that's just as good or has more.
Right. Yeah, because they're stacked on the right side.
Yeah, because they have Bufflin, they've got Tyler Myers whenever he gets healthy again. So and so far Trouba, since Myers or Tyler Myers has been out, he's been rock solid. Obviously.
That's another problem in Winnipeg too, though, is that they think Tyler Myers is better than Jacob Trouba, because that's basically what the problem was they're making Trouba play on the left hand side because they wanted Tyler Myers there playing that second right D slot instead of where Jacob Trouba should be.
No, I agree.
And here's the other thing in regards to Ben Bishop. I think if Winnipeg's in it, if they're in the playoff race, and Bishop's ready to go, maybe you see him. But
As a rental though, like
we all remember how Ryan Miller helped out, St. Louis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think you leave that alone. Look at they've got a lot of pieces that are still either kind of marinating in the AHL. I think you leave it alone. I wouldn't push it. I don't think that. Yeah, they're stacked, but it's not like Patrick Laine is still on his ELC. Nick Ehlers is still on his ELC. I mean, I think Nick Ehlers is still on his ELC anyway. So I mean, you just need to let that kind of just develop a little bit on its own, and you don't want the last thing you want to do is trade assets to make a run where I don't think that they're, they've got some good players, but I don't think as a team they're stacked enough to really contend in the West.
Yeah, with this whole Laine injury, you have to wonder if it is or not. If there's they can sneak in. However, they do need the goaltending, and Hellbuck didn't look great today. Watching that game, see, this is the one thing about being sick, guys, is I can actually watch more hockey because I have nothing else to do. I've been bedridden the last couple of days for sure. But meantime, since there is a couple days off, here's a great idea. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, I hear there's a wonderful program on YouTube. It's called Pucknology Writers Room. Ian, why don't you tell us about it?
Pucknology Writers Room coming at you tomorrow. Kevin Lacey has tried to call in sick already. I told him no, he'd be fired. So it'll be myself, Kevin, Zach, who is our newest full-time host, and we're going to have Joe on tomorrow too. So it's going to be a nice packed room. We're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff like we always do.
Absolutely. Gentry, update on the seal shirt. Someone already has a seal shirt on eBay, and they're asking $80 for it. Are you freaking kidding me?
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to that game where they're handing out the Warriors Shark stuff. I'm just gonna charge $375 starting, and I know somebody will pay for it because obviously the Bay Area is still on that Warriors bandwagon. So
Gotcha.
whatever. I'll just buy something at the store.
Sell it for $365.
Yes, sell for $365 or get them out.
Exactly. So no, I mean, oh well, another one of those handouts that I just won't get this year.
And also, along with the Writers Room, there's another great podcast called The Pucknologist with AJ Rocket and Hockey Jerk. That's already up on iTunes.
I was on it.
Google Play. Oh, you were on it too?
I was on there too.
Now you definitely have to watch it or listen to it. You can get it on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, all over the place. So make sure you subscribe wherever, you do whatever to find it and listen to it. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I say something else too?
Yes, sir.
I know a lot of people have already responded to it, and I kind of wonder if we've already completely done this whole thing out. But we put together a survey about this very show here, just to get some feedback about the hosts, about what we do, and because it's mostly to try and we're just looking for constructive criticism, things that we could do better, and so far the response has been fantastic. Super huge response to it. So if you haven't filled out the survey yet, this link is in the description for the show. I've tweeted out 100 times. So at I Read Pucknology, you can go find one of the mini tweets where I've tweeted it out. It's not going to take you very long. So please go fill it out. If you can leave some, we have some rankings on the hosts and stuff, like a 1 to 5 rating. But if you can actually leave feedback for the hosts, that will help them more than just the number. But I didn't want to make it mandatory. So do what you will, but it would appreciate it if you did take the time to fill out the survey. It helps us make a better product. And I think based on the overwhelming reaction, I feel like we've probably squeezed the well pretty dry at this point. I'll probably be killing it sometime tomorrow. But so if you want to get on it, please do it.
And when you guys are doing those ratings, please be gentle. We're humans. We have feelings.
Right. Feelings.
Nothing more than feelings. Sorry.
And it is anonymous. Yes, it is anonymous. You'll have to log in with like a Google account, and that's only so it didn't get skewed by people voting multiple times, obviously. But it's completely anonymous. I can see the data, but I cannot see who put it in or anything like that. So no one's going to come after you after and say, "You said this about me. What the hell?"
Right. I mean, that way,
As little as you know, I'm gonna get Russia. So if any of you little crackers, crap that shit about me, I'm gonna find you.
Find you.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna be.
You're gonna get Russia to hack into it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna be more
what?
relentless than Liam Neeson looking for his damn daughter.
Yeah. So there you have it. On notice.
And when I use them, I will find you and I will kill you.
I have a particular set of skills that I've acquired over many years of being on the internet.
That's right.
AJ Strong saying feelings. Ian's a fucking robot.
It's true. I don't care. You guys can't hurt my feelings.
That's true. That's true. Nonetheless,
I know I'm great.
oh boy,
I know. I'm sorry.
it sounds like
And
Ian scored 4 goals in the game tonight.
I did. And good thing the camera only sees from here up.
Whoa! Wow, we're getting way after dark now. Nonetheless, one more thing before we take off. I know we're promoting like crazy. January 21st, it is the Sharks social media night. We are on for the tweet up. Buttons have been ordered. So Gen X, buttons. Yay!
Eric, when you were holding that, it looked like you were holding a maxi pad. So
Yay! It's yes. I was trying not to get you this.
Oh,
Shut
everything's going great. The chat's like fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Ian only has one feeling: anger. Chris said, "Build a wall, make sure the Finn pay for it."
Yes.
we're gonna get a new arena. It's gonna be amazing, and the Kings will pay for it. It's gonna be huge.
Huge. All right. Come to the tweet up for Pucknology mask. Oh no, Chester. No. Rob Humphrey. What's a tweet up?
Glad you asked.
Yes, they can wear their buttons and shirts. AJ, just summer down now. Of course, they can rock both. The Kings are hacking with your survey. Yes, I already know. I know. My score sucks. Anyways, what's a tweet up? Rob Humphrey says a tweet up is a in-person meetup of people you've met through Twitter. It's kind of partaking part of the Shark social media night. Just a lot of interactivity going on with the game that night. So you'll be checking out that. Christine, you're gonna have to make it the game. Wow, Chris, way to promote that. It's like casual sex, except you're meeting up with people at a hockey game, and there's no happy ending.
Hey,
sad endings. Sad endings.
I'm curious. Like, I want to know. Here's where our fancy stats come in. Whoever can get this for me. What is the Sharks win-loss record at our tweet ups?
Fantastic question.
Let's see. I can think about this here. As I look at the buttons.
Just put up the page.
Megan Phillips says Chris has not been going to the right tweet ups.
The first one we lost to Anaheim. 2013, I believe we won. 2014, I believe we won. 2015 was at the outdoor game, so we lost. 2016. What was it?
Sleepy Mofo, as you tabulate this, Sleepy Mofo asks, "Will Chris Henson be at this tweet up?"
Why don't you have a seat over here? Let's talk about this situation over here, Mr. Sleepy Mofo.
Do the Barracuda play that day?
On the 21st? That is a great question. Let me look that up. I know they play next Saturday as part of a doubleheader.
I don't have the
can somebody fill meantime for me while I look this up?
Well, how about I look it up? You talk.
I really feel like we should have a tweet up to honor the last time the Sharks will have a black armor game. That would be a fun one. So we can have a whole eulogy for the black armor jerseys, since we're going to be getting new ones next year.
Well, there won't be a.
What night are we talking? What day are we talking?
It's January 21st. They're on the road.
They're on the road in Ontario, unfortunately.
Yeah, so there's no doubleheader that day. Our apologies.
Well, that's actually probably good, because then the ice won't look like Bakersfield's ice tonight.
Yes. No. So January 21st, it's going to be so much stuff going on there. We're kind of planning to kind of expand the whole social media night that the Sharks are doing. We're planning to do like a boatload of stuff, trying to get the stuff for a whole entire social media week. Of course, that week is when the NHL Centennial Fan Arena will be in San Jose. I don't know where, but I believe it's January 18th and 19th. So, if work allows me to, I would be all over that.
Just quit. You got that money coming in soon.
Oh God, I wish. They only gave me 24 hours. I'm hoping I can make a house payment this month. Um, with that being said, final thoughts, Mr. Alexander.
Final thoughts on the game tonight. I'm happy to see that the Sharks won. I'm happy to see that they got lots of goals tonight, more goals than their opponents. And I'm glad to see that, the defense, other than Burns, was stepping up with the multi-points. And I'm happy to see Joe Pavelski get 600 tonight.
Ian Reed.
Yeah, I was happy to see, I was happy to see guys that haven't had particularly awesome games. Have some awesome games. Like I said, I think this was Timo Meyer's best game in Teal. Kevin LeBanc continues to impress. Mirko Mueller had an okay game tonight. I thought, he almost gave it back, but he had that nice goal, and and I think that he's shown a lot more confidence, I feel, playing at the NHL. He's still not making the best decisions per se, but I thought his confidence was a little bit better than I've seen at the NHL level previously. So if you can keep these young guys kind of doing their thing, obviously when someone gets healthy, Mirko goes back down, but I hopefully this is just the beginning for Meyer, and being on that top line, he starts putting some pucks in the back of the net.
I agree. Those asking about the last Black Armor game, it is April 6th that they'll wear the black jerseys against the Edmonton Oilers at the Shark Tank. So
Is that what we're going to start singing?
No, we're going to celebrate.
Ding dong, Black Armor's gone.
No, I'm just going to wear it. And then after that, I'm just going to wear nothing but black.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to mourn the best jerseys we've ever had.
Oh, shut up. Shut up, Gentry. This coming from the guy who was hoping that they could break out an orange jersey for the Sharks. All right. Nonetheless, make sure you before we go, I know a lot of people are affected unlike Ian and I think Rob, who says he's in Indiana, are in the Bay Area. Hellastorm, I think is what. Yes, we are really doing this. Hellastorm 2017 is about to go down. And this is, yes, I am doing live radar as we speak. Hey, traffic and weather together on the fives. But looking at this thing's going to be a massive storm. I mean, they're expecting where Gentry and I live in the East Bay, about 4.5 inches of rain from now until Monday morning. Santa Cruz, which is south of San Jose, for those who don't know the geography of the Bay Area, the mountains are expected to get about a foot of rain within the next 24 hours. There's flash flood warnings all over the place, and talking to the Sharks' favorite meteorologist, Roberta Gonzalez, mom of course, Randall Hahn, you should, if you don't need to be on the road, do not go out on the road. And I would say make sure you have batteries, make sure you charge your phone and everything. Be prepared, because this thing could be bad. We had Ian essentially run the internet for the show tonight, just because there's a chance that it could be a power outage out here. I mean, I had issues with the feed of the game on Comcast cable. So just be careful with that. Be safe out there. We want you back here on Tuesday night when the Sharks take on the Oilers following the game.
And now here's Gentry with the news.
Thanks, Ian. I thought that the reason why we had you covering the internet was because Eric is still using AOL. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, wow. Jeez. All right. Wow. I'm looking at the chat.
Today's top story: pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Oh no.
Hot dog sandwich.
No, we're not getting into that.
Or are we gonna turn
yeah.
into or are we gonna be PMZ? Like
Sleeping Mofo saying that there's 110 mile per hour winds in the Sierra right now. Yeah, it's going to be bad. So just please be careful. Don't take Roberta's job. Take Gary Ratnage's job,
Just
please.
stay safe, people.
Yes, seriously, be safe. We want to see you all back here for
Yeah.
the show on Tuesday night. I mean, it's
be
serious.
safe while driving. Whatever you do, have your headlights on, and don't forget to use your damn blinkers.
Yes,
It is new technology. We have just established it. It's huge. It's this great technology. It's an indicator on your light in which it will let other people know where you're going, because we're not all fucking mind readers.
that's true. All right. So make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure you hit up Pucknology Writers Room tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Kevin wants people to stay alive so they can watch the show tomorrow night after Tuesday night.
For the show tomorrow. Hey, if it's really bad, I'll go live with
Can
either
you give us like some weather, like actually be out in the rain and just be like, it's cold?
Hello, me and Gentry were out in the rain for the last broadcast.
Yes, because that's the only type of insight that you will get for hockey, weather, and all your Bay Area sports stats is right here on Pucknology. We not only talk about hockey, we talk about the weather.
That's right. Well, and mainly this is brought up because, of course, San Jose is known for having the only rain delay in NHL history. So that's it's bringing it back to heritage stuff. So all right.
And our only rain out that we had in NHL history, who were we facing?
The Detroit Red Wings in 1995.
All right.
Boom. See how we all wrap it up in the hockey
culture. All right, let's go.
Yeah, all right, we need to get out of here. Gen X is like, you're running into SNL. All right, so for Ian, Gentry, myself, the whole crew at Pucknology, have a great night.
Take the survey.
Keep it real. Keep it tight. Take the survey. Give us all 5s. Keep it real tight. Good night. Pucknology Food Network coming soon.
Good night and big balls.
Oh, right. I have the button. Sorry.